All right, here we have the Traxxas conversion dragster by RCRI. This is going to be the assembly instructions. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy to do. First up here, your front Traxxas bulkhead. Same bulkhead that's on the Slash, Bandit, Rustler, and Stampede. That's going to get mounted in reverse. So your part that you normally bolt onto the car that has the angle there, that's actually going to be in the front here, pointing up. So you're going to bolt that onto there. Now these two screws here are your M4 by 20 millimeter. That's going to tie this plate in here. These screws and nuts come with it. This is going to be your body post. You're going to use a 1/4 inch flat on the bottom. Then you're going to have a 3/8 pan with a washer on top. Right here is your bell crank, M5 by 40 millimeter. You got your nuts on the top, and then you got two bearings on each side. You could put one above, one below the bell crank. It just depends on which bell crank you use. The hot racing bell crank, we have one below and one above. So you have to configure it based on the one you have. Some of them have plastic nylon bushings under them. So basically just shim it up with the bearings as needed. As you can see here, now your top plate is in place. Here, right on the top here, we have a 5/8 long pan head. You have a 4 millimeter spacer there. Then your next plate goes in between. Now you got a 7/16 spacer. Your bottom plate ties in between it, and below it is a 5/16 spacer. On the bottom screw is going to be a flat 5/8 long pan head. Right here are your servo mounts. To mount them to the chassis is a 1/4 inch long 440 pan head size screw. The other screws come with it. Moving along where it ties into the chassis here. At this point here, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to mount all your 5/16 standoffs all the way down the chassis. See if I can move it on in to show you all the way down to there. The top of the screws are going to be 1/4 inch pan head until you get to right here. If you're using the center deck plate, this one, 2, 3, so that's 6 total, are going to be 3/8 long. If you're not using this plate, they're going to be the 1/4 inch. So you're going to attach all those 5/16 around the perimeter. Then you're gonna have 1/4 inch flat heads underneath the chassis, and then you're gonna have pan heads on the top. Attach your plate on there, and now you could attach this plate to here. 7/16 post, 5/16 down below. You can have a flat 5/8 long screw, and the top one's going to be a 1/4 inch pan head. Right here is a 1 inch long 3/16 post. That's going to slip right inside the hole of this brace right here. On top, you're going to have a 1/4 inch pan head. On the bottom, it's going to be a pan head. It's actually going to be flat. This is actually an older version. We removed a slot there because we tied everything in. So this is just going to be a flat 1/4 inch flat screw there. You're going to have your posts which slide right into a hole through there. And this brace is going to ties everything right in. Over here you have your rear body post, same as the front. Underneath here is going to be a recessed flathead screw. This way it doesn't hit your body. Same size screw head up here, 3/8 pan head washer. Then your top plate goes on. As we're moving along here, same thing here. Same size there, but you're going to have a 3/8 long pan head here. Put those in. Then what you do is you're going to take a 5/8 long flathead. You're going to thread this post right here onto it all the way, lock it down. Then slip this 3 millimeter spacer over the top. Now you can slide your 3/16 hex post down. Those will slide right in that hole there, and screw them in tight. Then here's your ESC plate. 1/4 inch pan head, Screw them in, all set. Onto the rear section. This is the Delrin shock tower. You can have 3/8 long pan head with the nut. The shock tower is going to come with the mounting plate here. It's going to be already 1/2 inch flathead screws, 440 with the nuts there. 16 millimeter pan head screw and nuts here. Same thing down here for your turnbuckles. And for your rear, you're just going to use your existing screws for your Traxxas transmission. From there, underneath the chassis, you're going to mount your wheelie bar. So before you put the transmission on, you're going to put this underneath here, and you're going to mount your wheelie bar right to it. Once the wheelie bar is mounted, depending on the transmission style you use, the Traxxas original version, the stock, has area for you to put a turnbuckle. The Energy and Hot Racing transmission, they only have one spot to attach your turnbuckle to, and provided with it is a 30 millimeter screw here, two spacers and a nut. That's going to allow you to attach your turnbuckle to the transmission to the hole right there. You want to attach it all the way out. Don't use something too short and make a hole in closer. It's going to weaken up that wheelie bar. Wheelie bar is going to come with the wheel. It's going to come with the turnbuckle screw. Now the same turnbuckle that you're going to use on your steering servo, part number is on our website in the description. So basically from your steering servo here to your steering knuckle, that same part number you're going to use for your wheelie bar. It's the exact same one. Then all of your turnbuckles for your toe in and caster, they're all going to be identical as well. Part number again is on our website. This particular one here is the Dragster kit for the RJ Speed body, the 24-inch body. Part number again on our website. We also have hex adapters available. That allows you to put a 4-bolt pan car style foam rim onto your axle. Your rear arms, it's suggested to use the Bandit rear arms. Then you're going to use your cross pins for the Bandit. Your rear knuckles, same thing. You can use Slash or Bandit. They're exactly the same. For the front, you can use your Bandit arms for your front suspension arms here. Or the Traxxas Fortec Nitro front arms, which are even smaller. They're a little bit harder to find. Most just use the Bandit arms. For the caster block for the front Bandit arms, you're going to need to use the Bandit caster block that mounts right into the arm. Can't think of the name off the top of my head. Again, you're going to use all the same pins that come with it. So there you have a full assembly. Depending on if you get everything with the kit. If you get the full kit, you're going to get everything that we're showing you here, plus a few more that I haven't showed you yet. You could bolt on your original gearbox, shock tower, and shocks. If you're using this shock tower, what you're going to use is the front shocks for the Slash or the rear shocks for the Bandit. They're the same part number. If you're using a shock tower in the front, which we have the choice of the Delrin or the G10 3mm. If you're going to use the shock tower in the front, you're going to use the Fortec front shocks or rear shocks, same part number. Also with the kit is the no slop bell crank connection link or connection arm. You get this, you get the bearings that come with it, and you're going to get 4 washers if you need to space it out. This takes all the slop out of the Traxxas bell cranks, as well as the hot racing and probably many other aftermarket ones. This right here. So if you got a full kit, you're going to get a shock tower, rear shock tower front. You're going to have a choice of the G10 front, which is this one here, or you're going to have a choice of the 6.6 millimeter Delrin shock tower. Here's just a few other parts that's also going to come with it. Right here, this is going to go through your steering knuckle. And what this is going to do is this is going to replace your stock front axle. And it's going to allow you to bolt on the Traxxas funny car front rims and tires. Either the aluminum weld wheels or the plastic 5-star. That's what that's going to allow you to do. It's going to allow you to bolt that on there. With the front shock tower, you're also going to get two 16 millimeter screws here for your mounting up your shocks on the top. And then for your turnbuckles that are going to mount right here are going to be the 30 millimeter with a 2 millimeter spacer. And that's going to allow you to mount your turnbuckles to it. So there you have an entire full kit. Again, like I said, it's a very easy assembly. The only thing is you're just going to basically have different size screws and spacers for different spots. Typically, when you're going to put your ESC over here, you can put the ESC down below. You could put the receiver down there. You have your spacing there for running your wires through to your motor. Now your battery plate posts are for a 25 millimeter tall battery. You're going to use a, what we use is the hard case with the billet connectors that basically push into your battery. That's what we use. You could use a regular battery, but you're going to have only 25 millimeter in height there for your 2-cell or your 3-cell, which they are available. Just make sure you get the right height. If you happen to get one taller, these arms right here, same thing with this one right here, they'll move up and down on these posts. So if you need longer posts for a taller height battery, let us know. Doesn't come with the kit, let us know, we have them. Pretty much mostly just everyone's going to use or run a 2-cell in these. Some 3, but 3 is kind of overkill. It's not needed because you could go extremely fast on the 2-cell if you know what you're doing. So there you have it. There is the full kit, low profile shock towers, ESC plate, full braced, complete system, body posts, all the bells and whistles coming with it. Wheelie bar, front wheel axle screws, and all the other detailed information for what you could put with it as of wheels if you need adapters. Also is you don't have to put those shock towers. You could use your stock ones. Doesn't look as good. That's why we designed low profile ones. You could use an energy transmission case, which is the aluminum ones. You could use a stock Traxxas. You could use a hot racing aluminum case as well. Any one of those work. They all mount up. Pretty easy assembly. There you have it. Thanks for watching. Dragster kit for Traxxas conversion, RCRI.